Man, we not even 20 games into the season and we already got reports about stars that apparently will be traded soon. With Ja and Anthony Davis, which my past two videos were about them and their situations. Check that out, link will be in the description. Now we got a report that LaMelo Ball is open to be traded, but does it make sense for both LaMelo and the Hornets to part ways? And if so, where could he even go? Well, that's the tough part about this. On one hand, a trade makes sense because the Hornets haven't been able to put a competent team around LaMelo since they made the play-in 4 years ago. They're again at the bottom of the East and looking like they'll be picking top 8 in the draft for the 4th year in a row. So if this report is true, because LaMelo went on Twitter and is claiming otherwise, I can see why LaMelo would want out and play on a more winning team. A LaMelo trade would also make sense for the Hornets because if we're being real, the Hornets might not be a playoff team for another 3 to 4 years. Let's just say that is how it plays out. If they keep LaMelo, by the time that happens, he will be 27 or 28, which is not old. He would be in the middle of his prime, but they will have to extend him to a new max contract. And the Hornets might not be willing to do so. In that report, Kelly Iko stated the front office is increasingly hesitant cementing LaMelo as a long-term piece, and I completely understand why. While earlier I said how the Hornets' lack of success since that play-in appearance has been their poor roster construction, which is definitely a part of that, but a large part of it is LaMelo hasn't been able to stay healthy. Since his second year, which is the year they made the play-in, LaMelo hasn't played over 50 games. He's already missed some games this year with a right ankle injury, and ankle injuries have been a big problem for LaMelo over the past 4 years. Now, before we get into the rest of the video, I would appreciate it if you could like the video as it helps the video perform better in the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to the channel. If you like NBA content, this is the place where you will want to be. Even when he's played this season, he hasn't played well. Yes, we're not working with a large sample size, but he's having some of the lowest marks of his career in multiple areas. Plus, we all know he's a negative defensively and his shot selection can be erratic, to say the least. All of what I just mentioned is what also makes him hard to trade, plus the contract he's on. That is what makes it hard for me to think of trade destinations for LaMelo where I can see both the Hornets and another team agreeing on a deal. Unless the Hornets are willing to accept they will be trading him away for a low return. In the East, I can see the Raptors and Heat as landing spots, as both could use upgrades with their point guard play. With the Raptors, LaMelo matches the timeline of Scotty Barnes, and they have control of all their future picks. Yet, I don't know if they have any players the Hornets would be okay with getting back in a LaMelo trade. With the Heat, they have control of most of their future picks, but like the Raptors, I don't know if they have any players the Hornets would want back in a trade for LaMelo. Out west, I can see the Rockets and Timberwolves as landing spots. The Rockets have the assets and players and picks to get a LaMelo trade done. For the now, LaMelo would make them a even more legit contender, and for the long term, his timeline aligns with Sengun and Amen Thompson, but I don't know if they're willing to take on the risk of LaMelo staying healthy over just sticking with what they have or making a smaller trade. The Timberwolves, out of the teams we mentioned, would have the weakest assets in trying to get a deal done, but they need to improve their point guard play desperately, as it's not looking good for Rob Dillingham right now. Mike Conley is washed, and LaMelo fits with Ant's timeline. If the Hornets are willing to sell him low because of LaMelo's value around the league is that low, I can totally see Minnesota jumping in, offering the little they have to trade for him. While I think it's possible LaMelo gets traded, to be honest, I don't really see it happening. Yes, he's an incredible player. It's more so that his contract is huge, and the man hasn't played close to 65 games in 4, potentially going on 5 years. In the era we're in with the aprons and all the restrictions that are in those aprons, I don't see a team fully buying into a player that'll be getting paid $40 million a year and who, I hate to say it, is injury prone. I appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget to like the video as a basketball will appear when you do, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about LaMelo. Do you think he gets traded at the trade deadline? See you on the next one.